Nas September 14, 1973, age 49. American, born in Brooklyn, New York, New York. Nasir bin Olu Dara Jones, also known as Nas, previously Nasty Nas and Escobar, is a well-known American 1100 who was born on September 14, 1973, in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York. He was reared in the famed Queensbridge housing complexes in Queensbridge, New York as the son of jazz musician Olu Dara. As a young rapper, Nasir used the moniker Kid Wave before switching to his more well-known stage name, Nasty Nas, according to the Nasty Song Facts. Jones was known as Nas by the time he issued his historic solo debut album Illmatic in 1994. Illmatic is regarded as one of the best rap albums of all time and was a critically hailed commercial success. He with R&B singer Khalees in 2005. The couple has a son together, and on April 29, 2009, she filed for divorce. Nas also belonged to the one-album hip-hop ensemble The Firm. Following the release of Illmatic, Nas took a more commercial path, which led to greater popularity but lowered his creative stature in the eyes of critics and hip-hop purists. Nas' growing commercial success was also accompanied by stylistic adjustments that sparked claims of selling out. Nevertheless, the album Stillmatic is frequently cited as having helped Nas regain his listeners' trust. Since the success of Stillmatic, Nas has maintained a prominent position within the hip-hop scene and has followed a distinctly forward-thinking and individual sound. Nas' current aesthetic orientation diverges significantly from his most popular work, but it has kept him one of the most admired and regarded rappers of the modern era. 1973 to 1992, early life and work. Nas is the older of Olu Dara and Fannie Ann Jones's two children. His younger brother Jabari, also known as Jungle, since he was born in the Congo, was born in Brooklyn, New York. Before relocating to Queensbridge, the biggest public housing project in the country, the family first lived in Brooklyn. When Nas was 13 years old and Olu Dara left the home, Ann Jones was left to raise her two boys by herself. In the 7th grade, Nas quit school and started hawking narcotics on the streets of New York. He read about African culture and civilization, the Bible, the Quran, and the 5% Nation to better himself. He also recorded songs that were played on his local radio station in order to research the beginnings of hip-hop music. Nas played his father's trumpet on the porch of their Brooklyn house when he was 3 years old. As a boy, Nas also wanted to be a comic book artist. Nas started penning short stories not long after his parents' divorce as he became more involved in hip-hop culture. Illmatic was recorded and released between 1992 and 1995. Midway through 1992, MC Cirque of Third Base met Nas and offered to be his manager. That same year, Nas also signed a record deal with Columbia Records. On the song, Halftime, from Cirque's soundtrack for the movie Zebrahead, Nas made his solo debut. When MC Cirque's solo album is released later in the year, the track boosted the excitement surrounding Nas, and Nas' remarkable performance on Back to the Grill further served to heighten interest in his much-anticipated album. He was hailed as Rakim's successor, and the hip-hop scene paid a lot of attention to his rhyme abilities. Many people were worried that because Columbia is a huge label, they would try to change his New York-based sound. Nas' first album, Illmatic, was ultimately made available in 1994. Illmatic, a highly appreciated and critically praised rap album, including lyrics that depicted beautiful visual imagery and production thanks to a number of producers. Illmatic was hailed as a masterpiece by critics and is still regarded as one of the best hip-hop albums of all time. The album featured production from Large Professor, Pete Rock, Q-Tip, of A Tribe Called Quest, and DJ Premier, as well as guest appearances from Nas' friend Az and his father Olu Dara on the song, Life's a Bitch. The album featured notable songs including, NY State of Mind, The World Is Yours, One Love, and, It Ain't Hard to Tell, all produced by different artists, produced by Large Professor and featuring a sample of, Human Nature, by Michael Jackson. However, the record sales fell short of projections in part because of widespread bootlegging. From It Was Written to The Firm, 1996 to 1998. The Notorious B.I.G., a rapper who had achieved success by releasing street singles with still having pop-friendly appeal, became the target of Columbia's pressure on Nas to focus on more commercial themes. Nas switched up his manager MC Cirque for Steve Stout and started working on his second album, It Was Written, with a purposefully crossover-oriented sound. The summer of 1996 saw the release of It Was Written, which was mostly produced by Poke and Tone of Trackmasters Entertainment. Two of the singles. If I Ruled the World, Imagine That, with Lauryn Hill of the Fugees, and Street Dreams, a remix, which featured R. Kelly, became instant hits. Hype Williams's high-budget music videos used to promote these tracks helped Nas become well-known in mainstream hip-hop. The Message, and I Gave You Power, which depicts a story from the perspective of a pistol, are two more noteworthy songs on the album. The Firm, a supergroup comprised of Nas, Az, Foxy Brown, and Cormega, made its debut on It Was Written. Nas's mafia-inspired character, Nas Escobar, who led a more Scarface casino-like lifestyle, was also introduced on the album. I Am to Nostradamus, 1998 to 2000. Nas started working on a double album in 1998 that would be titled I Am. The autobiography and was meant to be a balancing act between the extremes of Illmatic and It Was Written. Early in 1999, the album was finished, and for its lead single, Nas Is Like, which was created by DJ Premier and used vocal snippets from It Ain't Hard to Tell, a music video was filmed. Nas and Stout immediately produced enough replacement songs to make up a single disc release when a large portion of the LP was leaked online in MP3 format. Nas detractors used the second song from I Am, Hate Me Now, featuring Sean, Puffy, Combs, now Diddy, as an illustration of his shift towards commercial themes. Nas and Puffy were crucified in a way that resembled how Jesus was crucified in Hype Williams's allegorical music video for the song. After the video was finished, Combs, a devout Catholic, asked that his crucifixion part be removed. The Hate Me Now video, however, made it to MTV and had its premiere on TRL on April 15, 1999. Combs, who was incensed, allegedly entered Steve Stout's office with his bodyguards and attacked him there. Combs allegedly punched Stout in the head with a champagne bottle at one point. Stout filed a lawsuit, but he and Combs reached an out-of-court agreement that June 2000-2001. Stillmatic and the Nas vs. Jay-Z feud. Nas and Memphis Bleek, Jay Apprentice, Z's had a rivalry before it became the widely documented rivalry between Nas and Jay-Z. The theme of Bleek's song, Memphis Bleek Is, which appeared on his debut album Coming of Age, was similar to that of Nas' song, Nas Is Like. I'm a Ball, Till I Fall. What You Think of That? Is the refrain of Bleek's song, What You Think of That, which he co-wrote with Jay-Z, which appears on the same album. Nas' second album from 1999, Nostradamus, had a reference to What You Think of That as payback. You want to ball until you fall, I can help you with that, according to the lyrics. On the lead single for his The Understanding LP, My Mind Right, Memphis Bleek dissed Nas because he saw the allusion in Nostradamus as a dig. Nas' Ether, from Tupac's Fuck Friends, was his response, and it opens with gunfire and a repetitive, slowed-down sample of Tupac rapping, Fuck Jay-Z. Nas charges Jay-Z with ripping off, or biting, lyrics from the Notorious B.I.G. and Ether, and brown-nosing Nas and other rappers in his quest for popularity. Nas' fifth studio album, Stillmatic, which was released in December 2001, featured Ether. Although not as successful commercially as it was written in I Am, Stillmatic managed to be a highly lauded return album. The album debuted at number 7 on the Billboard album charts and included the hits, Got Yourself A, and One Mic. Regarding commercial performance, Stillmatic reached platinum certification while Jay's The Blueprint achieved double platinum certification. With his freestyle, Super Ugly, Jay-Z responded to Ether, going into detail about his sex with Carmen Bryan, the mother of Nas' daughter Destiny. Nas rejected the song by asserting that he was no longer dating Bryan at the time the affair occurred. The two rappers' conflict was finally resolved amicably by 2005. It's bigger than I Declare War, Jay-Z told the crowd at the I Declare War Powerhouse concert. Esco, Let's Go. The two then played Dead Presidents together, which Jay-Z had sampled from Nas' song, The World Is Yours, when Nas came on stage to perform with Jay-Z. From God's Son to Street's Disciple and Beyond, 2002 present. Nas' God's Son album and its debut single, Made You Look, were both released in December 2002. Even though there was a lot of internet bootlegging, the album opened at number 18 on the Billboard charts. His record was chosen the greatest hip-hop album of the year by Time magazine. It received 4 stars from Vibe magazine and 4 mics from The Source. In the spring and summer of 2003, Nas' second single, the upbeat, I Can, which incorporated themes from Beethoven's Für Elise, became his biggest hit to date. It received a lot of radio exposure on urban, rhythmic, and top 40 radio stations as well as on the MTV and VH1 music video networks. Several tracks on God's Son are also dedicated to Nas' mother, who passed away from cancer in 2002. Nas appeared on the Korn song, Play Me, off of the Take a Look in the Mirror album in 2003. Nas appeared on the song, We Major, from Kanye West's album Late Registration. Although West claimed that the song was Jay's favorite Z's on the album, Jay-Z was unavailable to record a vocal for the song's final mix. He also had an appearance on numerous additional tracks, including Death Anniversary and It Wasn't You, as well as Damian Marley's song, Road to Zion, whose music video also included Newcomer the Game, featuring Lauryn Hill. After a 2-year engagement, the pair got married on January 8, 2005 in Atlanta, Georgia. Nas' label agreement with J-Def Z's Jam in January 2006 added weight to their truce and increased hopes for a future collaboration. His record will be released as a collaborative venture with this imprint and Columbia Records in the fall of 2006. His album will be called Hip Hop Is Dead. The N, with the N being a play on the word end, he just revealed to MTV News. The phrase, current low quality of rap music, in the title is meant to convey what some could call this. The eagerly awaited album will be released on December 19, 2006.